जिंदगी का सफर शुरू हुआ तन्हाई से। जल्द ही रास्ते में कोई मिला और फिर मिले कदमों से कदम। वो सफर भी क्या सफर था जब नन्हे पैर परछाई बनकर हमारे पीछे पीछे भागे। पता ही नहीं चला कब वो इतने बड़े हो गए कि अपनी राह चुनकर बस चल पड़े।
कदम मिले, कदम जुड़े। हमने सोचा हम अकेले रह गए, पर फिर मुड़कर देखा तो पाया कि कोई था, कोई अपनों से भी अपना, जो ना था बहुत पास ना ही बहुत दूर, पर था वो हमारे साथ हर कदम पर, शुरुआत से अंत तक।
कोटक लाइफ इंश्योरेंस, कोई है हमेशा।
इस बीमारी नाल असी डट के लड़े,
ना थाकिए ना हारिए, हर एक पल संभाळीने चालिए।
ನಾವು ಸಿದ್ಧರಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಸವಾಲಿಗೆ.
चला एकत्रेयो हे म्हणूयात.
ಬದಲಾಗುವೆವು ನಾವು, ಆಗ ಗೆಲ್ಲುವೆವು ನಾವು. ಈಗ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕಷ್ಟ we will overcome.
જમાનો બદલાઈ રહ્યો છે, બદલવાનું છે આપણે.
દરેક લક્ષ્ય જીતવાનું આપણે છે.
ഫ്യൂച്ചറിന് യാക്കാംസേ നമുക്ക് സ്വന്തം കരങ്ങളാ. ഇനി എല്ലാം മറന്നു സ്വപ്നം കാണൂ, പ്രോമിസ് ചെയ്യൂ ഉയരങ്ങൾ.
बदलू आपण तर जिंकू आपण.
प्रत्येक अडथळे मात करू आपण. बदलू आपण तर जिंकू आपण. प्रत्येक अडथळे
मात करू आपण.
आओ बनाइए बढ़िया कल.
We will make sure ಸಂತಸವಿರುವುದು ಪ್ರತಿ ಕ್ಷಣವೂ.
દરેક વિપત્તિમાં
ಮುಂಜಾನೆ ಇರುತ್ತೋಣ.
प्रत्येक समस्येला
നമ്മൾ മാറിയ ആക ಗೆಲ್ಲುವೆವು ನಾವು.
हर मुश्किल we will overcome.
നമ്മൾ മാറിയ
ಇದು ಬೆನ್ನು ಹೋಗೋಣ.
ಈಗ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕಷ್ಟ we will overcome.
Namaskar. Welcome to one more round of Badlaav Studio. Badlaav Studio is the place, is the platform where transformation happens. And Badlaav is what we see all around you. So I welcome you once again to our invigorating session, a discussion on a topic that's of interest to us. What can yoga do and help us in this pandemic times? And to take us through the discussion, we have a very interesting person, a person who started off in event management and then discovered yoga within her, or the benefits of yoga within her, and now has become an internationally acclaimed trainer, conductor of yoga classes across the world and in India. She is also into meditation, sound healing, and corporate wellness. So welcome, Jenil. Welcome you to the Badlaav Studio with us.
Thank you so much, Subhashis. Thank you so much, Kotak Mahindra Life Insurance, and I am absolutely delighted to be a part of this initiative of the Badlaav Studio. And this is a very beautiful day, the International Day of Yoga, that we are doing this conversation. So
Jenil, tell us about your journey. As you speak to us, tell us about your journey from being a corporate person, a person in event management, to now looking at a career in yoga. your 5-year journey, therefore. It will be very interesting to all of us.
Yes. So I was in the corporate events for a good 7 to 8 years of my life, and somewhere in between yoga happened. And I went to yoga, like I think everyone goes to yoga for something. We go there looking for some benefit. If we are fallen sick, for some health benefit, for some advantage in life, when we are pretty stressed or something, when we want to find some help. And likewise, even I went to yoga looking for some sort of a balance in my life. And once I got a taste of yoga, there was really no looking back. You know, one thing led to another. I started practicing more, I started teaching more, and there came a point where I had to choose, do I want to do events or do I want to dedicate my life to yoga? And the answer was very clear, and now here I am. Now my life really is yoga. Everything that I do, it revolves around yoga.
All right, so let us hear what we have to hear from you. We are waiting to hear from you, all ears.
Thank you. Hello, everyone. I hope everyone is safe and sound in their homes. We are living in such challenging times. We are living in such uncertain times that this is the second wave that has hit us. And we have definitely gone through a lot in the last 1.5 years as a whole community. Not just you as an individual, not just me as an individual, but all of us together. We have gone through this pandemic together. And look at us, we are right now braving it, living each day as it comes, taking one day at a time, one step at a time to come out of it. And it is in these times we have also realized the importance of many things that we take for granted. For example, the incredible system or the incredible practice of yoga that we have, which is such an ancient practice. And it has always stood the test of time. Now yoga has become extremely popular. We are talking about this on the occasion of International Day of Yoga. And if we see globally everywhere, yoga has become a lifestyle choice. And even more so in this pandemic, even more so in this last 1.5 years, many people have started to adapt yoga as a way of living. It's like suddenly we have woken up to yoga. Yoga was always there with us, just that we didn't value it. But at least now it's better late than never. We have realized the value of it. People have found benefits of yoga, not just to build immunity, but also help in recovery from COVID. So it is such a beautiful gift which keeps on giving, only if we know how to use it mindfully. And well, guys, and well, everyone, that is the purpose of today's talk, to equip you with certain tools and certain benefits that you can apply in your daily life with the practice of yoga. So when we speak of yoga, what comes to your mind? The very first idea of yoga that we have is the physical postures that we do, the different stretching, the different asanas that we do, right? But let me tell you that that itself is not complete yoga. Yoga is much more beyond that. That is also the conversation of today, where I will be speaking about the 3 different pillars of yoga. The first pillar being our physical body, the second pillar being our breath, and the third pillar being our mind. Yes, these are the 3 things we are going to address today, which are equally important, which are absolutely important rather for an integrated yoga practice. So if you really want to get maximum benefits out of yoga, you need to have all these 3 aspects understood and then apply them in your life. So these 3 pillars of yoga, our physical body, our subtle breath, and our mind, are extremely important if we want to remain not just fit physically, but want to remain healthy and happy in these current challenging times. With the lockdown, with the restricted movement, with the uncertainty around, with the fear still, lurking around, just taking care of physical body is not going to be enough. we will have to take care of our mind and our breath also. Only when you combine all of these three things, you are going to be able to manage and live through this crisis that we all are a part of. So let's begin with the first pillar, which is our body, the physical body. So let me ask you one question. How many hours in a day do you spend sitting on a chair, on a sofa, on a couch? Think about it. How many hours? I think most of you would say at least 8 to 10 hours. And because of being constricted in our houses, our movement, our mobility has also become very limited. And it is said that sitting is the new smoking, right? Because the amount of damage that happens to our bodies when we are just sitting in a very bad posture is pretty unimaginable. Of course, your body starts to get different kinds of aches and pains. Your spine becomes very, very disoriented. You start to develop more tension and stress in your physical body. Your blood circulation starts to reduce. All your organs starts to get constricted. So that is when the problem really starts to happen. It's this very basic thing of not, moving enough. That can cause a lot of harm on our physical body. And even if we are sitting very incorrectly. We are not aware of our posture. We are not aware of how much harm we are bringing to different parts of the body, different joints of the body, the different muscles of the body, the different organs of the body. And that is leading to degeneration in a little rapid manner. So when we talk about the physical body, what is important? And how can yoga play a role here? Currently, we are all talking about building immunity. But if you have a weak body, you will have zero immunity or very weak immunity. And there is one more very interesting thing that happens in our physical body on a very cellular level. Our cells are constantly fighting against any sort of external virus, foreign body, or any sort of pathogens which are not required. And this is our immune system. This cells fighting is our immune system to protect us, to protect our physical body from any sort of threat. But in spite of having such an intelligent, body, we ourselves come in the way of the body. We ourselves become an obstruction for the body. And that is where all the problem starts. The problem starts because of the way we sit, the way we stand, the way we sleep, the food that we eat, our sleeping patterns, our lifestyle choices. All these starts to make our body weak. And body weak is equal to immunity getting weak. Immunity getting weak is equal to less of resistance to fight against the virus or any sort of foreign unwanted particles. And once this virus or this foreign body starts to overpower our immunity, that is when things start to deteriorate. Talking about coronavirus, talking about what is relevant right now. What happens when this virus has entered your body and your immune system has recognized a threat? That is when it starts to fight against it. And in that fighting process, in Ayurveda, the process of fighting against any threat is when you have identified this foreign body, the body starts to generate heat to burn that virus, to burn that unwanted substance or particle. And that heat that we experience is actually fever, right? We all experience fever for the first few days when the body is actually fighting out the virus. Now, if your immune system is nice and strong, the virus will be burnt away and the fever will also go back and you will be back to normal. But if your immune system is weak and the virus takes over, then the immune system itself starts to burn because of the heat generated. And then that fever goes into further more complicated stuffs like pneumonia and so on and so forth. So that is a broad understanding of how our physical body functions and what happens when a virus enters our body and why the topic of immunity is so important. And that is why yoga, the practice of yoga asanas, when we talk about physical body, the practice of yoga asanas is so important as it keeps your body nice and supple. It allows your body to build flexibility, to build stability, to build strength, to build mobility. It increases the blood flow in your body. It gives the inflammation in your body a little relaxing. It reduces the inflammation in your body and it slows down the degeneration process. It allows you to release all that, all that pent up stress that we keep on our body. Have you noticed how your physical body is when you're very stressed? You have this sort of posture, where everything is so tight, and that is causing a lot of damage to the body. We don't realize it. But practices of yoga asana, specifically when we talk about the physical body, is very, very important. It's very important to move. It's very important to allow the body to have some sort of movement every single day. Yes, that is that much you need to do for yourself. You need to take out that half an hour every single day for yourself. Move the body mindfully, move the body correctly, move the body, listen to your body. That also is a very, very important aspect. We need to listen. Our body is always giving us signs. Yeah, when you're working too much on your laptop and you start to automatically do something like this, it's a sign that you have already created some stress there. So you need to immediately get up, move, do some joint movements, do some stretching, do some strength building. And all of it together will ensure that your physical body remains nice and healthy, happy and healthy. On that note, here is a very practical video for all of you who can't escape sitting on a chair. Yes, you may be sitting 8 to 10 hours on a chair, but here are a few practical things that you can do, certain stretches, certain asanas, certain yogic movements that you can do while sitting on the chair through your day. So let's have a look at the video. So here are 3 different chair yoga stretches that I want to show you, which you can do while you are seated on the chair. First one, let's work on releasing the tightness on the neck. So let's start by turning your neck to one side. Keep your eyes open and then slowly turn your neck to the other side. Come back to center. Now drop your one ear towards your shoulder. See that the shoulders are down. Come back to center and drop your ear again to the opposite shoulder and come back to center. And finally, look up with your neck all the way up. Keep your mouth closed and bring your chin towards the chest and come back to center. Now let's move to the second stretch, which is for our wrist. So take your hands out, make a fist with your thumb inside and start to rotate your wrist in a clockwise direction, releasing all the tension of too much typing on the phone or on your computer. And let's do anti-clockwise. Nice. And now stretch your palm out, take your opposite hand and pull the fingers towards you. It's a very nice release for your wrist. And let's do the same on the opposite side. And relax. And let's go to the last one. This is a wonderful tip. If you're working too much on your computer, you can take this posture, which is called the pigeon pose, and it's great for your hips. You take your leg and place it like this in a 90-degree angle or L shape on your thigh. Now you can sit like this and continue working or go a little bit down like this. It's a great release for your hips. And remember to switch the side as well. So the opposite leg on the thigh and a gentle forward bend. And come back up to center. So remember to do these stretches whenever you get time in the day to keep your physical body nice and healthy. Thank you. All right, so let us go and move on to the next pillar, which is about our breath. So let me ask you a question. Are you breathing? Check again. Are you really breathing? Are you breathing with awareness is the real question. Yes, we all are breathing, of course, but we don't really become aware of our breath. Sometimes we are so unaware of our breath. We actually take our breath for so granted that we don't even know where are we breathing from, where all are we feeling the breath, right? And the breath, this word has become such a buzzword in the last 1.5 years. Pranayams, breathing techniques, that everybody is talking about it. Everybody wants a piece of this pranayam practice. And why so? Of course, coronavirus is a respiratory disorder that primarily attacks the lungs and our respiratory system, and which reduces the oxygen in our lungs. And that is when all the problem starts. And oxygen is like the fuel of the body. If we don't give it enough fuel, it won't function. So pranayam, no wonder pranayam has become such a popular trend right now that even doctors have been recommending it. So let's understand what really is this pranayam and why are we all, finding respite in it. If we look at pranayam, it's made up of two words, pran and ayam. Pran is your vital life source, the energy that you're thriving on day in and day out. And ayam means to really extend that energy or expand that energy. And I'll make you understand this with a very simple example. If you compare a dog and a turtle, have you ever seen a dog breathing? How rapidly they breathe, right? They're taking such fast breaths. And how long do they live? 7 years, 10 years, that's about it. And vis-a-vis, a turtle. Have you seen a turtle breathing? It breathes so slow that you don't even realize that it's breathing. And how long a turtle lives? 100 years easily. So that is what we need to realize, learn from nature, that if we breathe fast, everything, our deterioration will also happen fast, and we will live very short. And if we learn how to control our breath properly, we can live much longer, a much more healthier life. Our lungs actually have a capacity of 6 liters of air. You can take in 6 liters of air. They are like these huge balloons. But on an average, we are taking only about, any guesses? On an average, we are taking only about 500 ml of air. You see how undervalued we give to our lungs. So when you are taking such little amount of air, obviously you're having very little oxygen in your system. And obviously that all your organs are getting very little oxygen. And that is going to hamper the process. And that is what happens in coronavirus. That your oxygen is restricted even further because of the virus. And it starts to affect everything in your lungs. And it starts to make your body weaker. So our energy levels goes down. We feel extremely lethargic. We feel breathlessness if you're not able to breathe correct. And that is where practices like pranayam can really be beneficial. Practices of pranayam increase the amount of oxygen in your system. It increases oxygen. It helps in the better performances of all your organs. And it also gives a very nice soothing effect to your body. Oxygen is actually very, very healing. And when you're doing pranayam practices in the corona times, in this COVID times, we need to ensure that we do the very correct type of pranayams. We need to ensure that we do pranayams which induce more oxygen in our body. And if you are someone who's recovering from COVID or who is already suffering from COVID, then there is a lot of heat that is generated, which we discussed in the physical body as well. So you need to do pranayams which are very cooling and very, very calming. And take measures to increase that oxygen capacity, make the lungs more elastic, make the lungs more, alive by doing the pranayama techniques. And why pranayama techniques have become so popular, or rather why they are so accessible, is because your breath is always with you. You don't leave your breath at home and go out. Your breath is always with you. So that means you can do pranayama at any given point in day. That is the beauty of this practice. It can be done anywhere, anytime, at any moment in life. So ensure that you adapt this practice of pranayama in your daily routine. And on that note, we are going to see a beautiful pranayama that you can do, which will help you increase oxygen levels and make your lungs more healthy and happy. Here is a pranayama technique which will not only increase your oxygen supply but also build the capacity of your lungs, and it is called the pursed lips breathing. In this, you will inhale from your nose, and as you're exhaling, you will exhale from the mouth as if you're blowing a candle off. So just have a look. I will inhale from the nose and exhaling. Ensure that when you're exhaling, it is nice and long and make it as soft as possible. Do at least 10 rounds at one go and see the difference. Thank you so much. And let us now move on to the third part, the third pillar, which is about our mind. So what is the first word that comes to your mind when I talk about mind? What is the first thing that you think about when it comes to mind? Maybe is it the feeling of thoughts that your mind is always thinking and it's a restless mind? Yes, our human mind is a very restless mind. But if I just say it is a restless mind, I will really be underplaying. That's how restless it is. It's always scattered, always jumping from one thing to another. That's how we have, on an average, 50,000 thoughts every single day. So much we put this mind to use every single day. And what happens because of this? If we are constantly in the phase of overthinking and, constantly running thoughts in our mind, it can create a lot of disruption. Just to, give you a little deeper understanding, if we see positivity and certainty are the two cornerstones of a normal, healthy mind of a human. Yes, positivity and certainty. They are needed to keep our mind nice and healthy. But both of them have been massively disrupted in these times of pandemic. We are all a victim of negative thoughts, and we are all a victim of uncertainty. And these two things create a lot of havoc and lead to building stress in our system. While some sort of stress is needed for survival, but when that stress starts to become chronic, that is when it is really bad. When the body is under stress, when the mind is under stress, high levels of cortisol are produced. And that really affects your nervous system as well. So we need to understand that the situation is not going to change, or maybe it will change eventually. We are all in this situation. Nobody has the power right now to change the situation. But what we have is the power to react to the situation. That is where understanding of the mind comes in play with yoga, of how you react to a situation, how you utilize the mind in a correct manner, how you put yourself into the present manner, how you react to a situation decides how much stress that situation is going to give you. So what is the solution then? Yes, the situation is not going. Yes, I may be able to, control my reaction to it. Sometimes I may not be able to control my reaction to it. So what is the solution to work on our mind? How do we manage this mind? The solution is very easy in yoga: meditation. Yes, not medication, but meditation. Meditation is simply being able to bring a sense of calmness in your mind. Right now, we have all been a victim of thoughts like uncertainty, loneliness, depression, fear of losing something, losing our jobs, losing our family members. All these negative things have been crowded our mind. So when we rescue to meditation, we allow the mind a moment of calmness. We allow the mind to be in the present. When does stress really happen in the mind? When our thoughts start to think about a past memory, or it worries about the future. That is the duty of thoughts, to either think of the past or worry about the future. But if we utilize the practice of meditation, we can be in the present moment. Because it's only in the present moment that you have absolutely no stress. You're completely stress-free in the present moment. So meditation is simply about bringing your attention to one point, one object, one focus, and trying to reduce all that mental chatter that we constantly have. And with that note, let us see a beautiful meditation practical tip that you can do in these times of COVID, which will help you really calm your mind. So let's do a meditation technique which will help you to reduce all that mental chatter, that too much noise and too many thoughts and too much anxiety that many of us have been going through. And how do we do this? We will bring our mind to a one-pointed focus, which will be our breath. So let's sit in a meditative pose. Gently close your eyes. Keep your spine nice and tall. And all you're going to do is now focus on your natural breathing. Simply watching how is the breath coming in and how is the breath going out. You're not trying to do any pranayams here, just watching your breath in a natural manner as it comes and goes. Trying to really put all your awareness, put all your attention on your breath. And when you're doing this, it is very possible that you will have a lot of thoughts. When a thought arises, just try to look at it. Don't get involved in it. Look at the thought and let it go away. And you shift your attention back to your breath. So remember, breath is your point of focus, and let's keep focusing on this breath. Natural rhythm of breathing. And you can start by doing this on a daily basis for at least 5 minutes. And you will notice the difference in your life, that how it really helps you to keep a very calm and a steady mind. Thank you. So thus we saw that how the 3 pillars are really important. Taking care of your physical body, your breath, and your mind all together. And remember, it is your responsibility to take care of yourself first. Even if you have suffered or not suffered from COVID, that doesn't matter. It is you who need to take care for yourself, because only when you are fit and fine, you can take care of your loved ones. So remember to take care of your body, your breath, and your mind all together. Thank you.
So Jenil, that was very interesting. I think you've answered a lot of questions that people would have on their minds, but I still have a few questions for you. Tell me, as a yoga expert, what is the trend that you have seen? Any yoga trend that you've seen during the pandemic?
Earlier, people would go to yoga as a curative measure. That, okay, I have fallen sick, I have got a back pain, I've got a knee pain, I've got high BP, I've got heart problems. Now let me go to yoga for a solution. That was a very, very curative approach to yoga. But now, in the last 1.5 years, people have started to become preventive with yoga. People have realized that it's important to take care of themselves, not wait for the disaster to strike and then go to yoga. So I think this has been a very interesting shift, from a curative to a preventive mindset with yoga.
I understand that. What would you say would be the practical tips, a couple of practical tips that you give, since many of us are working from home? Any practical tips?
Sure. I think let me share 5 very quick tips for those who are working from home. First is wake up early. Even if it is 5 minutes earlier than your normal time, wake up early. You will notice big difference. Second is start your day with some sort of meditation or some sort of silence. Sit for 5 minutes in silence with yourself. Third is include some sort of activity in your life. It could be yoga, walking, running, jumping, whatever, but include some activity in your life and do it before you start your work. Fourth is turn off those notifications on your phone, on your laptop. They are very, very distractive and can get very stressful. And the last is take a few moments through the day to really deep breathe. So those are my 5 tips.
A lot of people are actually getting cured of COVID. I mean, most people are actually getting cured of COVID. Thank God for that.
Right.
Now that they have gone back to their normal routine or have come back and got cured, what should they do? What yoga asanas should they do to continue their healing process?
Right. So I think if they are, recovering from COVID, you should take it slow. Yeah, do not try to go all in, all out just now because, you have recovered from COVID and you realize, okay, I need to take care of my health. Ensure that you do it slowly, gradually. Focus on all these 3 pillars, your body, your breath, and your mind, and let yoga become a lifestyle. Let it not be limited to 1 hour on the mat and then finish. No. Try to have it as a lifestyle for the remaining 23 hours also off the mat. I think that is when the recovery will be very holistic. It won't be a temporary, it will be a very holistic recovery.
Yeah, I think that's an interesting point that you're making. Make it a part of your life. So how to make it a part of your life? That would be my last question, really.
Right.
Making yoga a daily routine.
I think first and foremost, I just want to tell everybody that don't get intimidated by looking at fancy yoga pictures on Instagram. Okay, I think we all associate with yoga, if I have to do yoga, I need to do these fancy poses. Don't get intimidated by all of that. All you need to do is take the first step. Start your practice and find the right teacher. That also is a very important aspect in your journey. Find a teacher who can guide you correctly and who you can, trust and connect with, because that will determine how your journey in yoga becomes. And always remember, start small, stay consistent. That is the key to beginning and also continuing yoga in your life.
Thank you, Jenil. Thanks a lot for spending this time with us. And I would like to thank all the viewers of Badlaav Studio. Keep continuing watching this space. Every month we'll bring you some topic of interest. And we hope that this session will help all of us lead a more holistic, stress-free, and definitely corona-free life. Thank you once again.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for having me. And I'm really glad I got a platform to share everything. And I hope people benefit from what we spoke today. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
ਇਸ ਬਿਮਾਰੀ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਡਟ ਕੇ ਲੜੇ
ના થાકીએ ના હારીએ હરેક પળ સંભાળીને ચાલીએ
ನಾವು ಸಿದ್ಧರಿದ್ದೇವೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಸವಾಲಿಗೆ.
चला एकत्र येऊ हे म्हणूयात.
ಬದಲಾಗುವೆವು ನಾವು ಆಗ ಗೆಲ್ಲುವೆವು ನಾವು ಈಗ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕಷ್ಟ we will overcome.
જમાનો બદલાઈ રહ્યો છે, બદલવાનું છે આપણે.
દરેક લક્ષ્ય જીતવાનું આપણે છે.
ഫ്യൂച്ചറിന് യാക്കാംസേ നമുക്ക് സ്വന്തം കരങ്ങളാ ഇനി എല്ലാം മറന്നു സ്വപ്നം കാണൂ പ്രോമിസ് ചെയ്യൂ ഉയരങ്ങൾ
बदलू आपण तर जिंकू आपण
प्रत्येक अडथळे मात करू आपण, बदलू आपण तर जिंकू आपण. प्रत्येक अडथळे
मात करू आपण.
आओ बनाइए वधिया कल.
We will make sure संकस विरोध प्रतिक्षणವು
दरेक विपत्तीमा
ಒಂದಾಗ ಇರಪ್ಪೋಣ.
प्रत्येक समस्येला
നമ്മൾ മാറിയ ആಗ ಗೆಲ್ಲುವೆವು ನಾವು.
हर मुश्किल we will overcome.
നമ്മൾ മാറിയ
ಇದು ಬೆಲ್ಲಗೋಣ.
ಈಗ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಕಷ್ಟ we will overcome.